I love the way that the sun is hitting right now. Gorgeous. I'm here to talk about the moments in my life when my creativity went silent. There were many a time when I was in a creative drought. My river was dry. My ideas were not exciting to me, and I felt like I had to push through to generate any sort of creative ambition and dream that was bigger than myself. Formerly known as the queen of burnout. And I say formally because I do believe I've overcome that cycle, and I've overcome that karmic pattern of putting others' needs before my own and saying yes to every single opportunity for lack of missing out. And also, I think I was in a place where I just wanted to say yes to everything and everyone because I was earlier in my career and I was like, this is a great opportunity. This is a blessing. I am grateful. I want to say yes to everyone and everything and deliver before I actually delivered to myself and listened to what my actual needs and desires were. I will admit that this episode or channeling might come off as a little bit cynical, or I don't know. I'm really just sharing the truth of how I felt about my burnout cycles. And those burnout cycles were also very much fueled by my disconnection to the work that I was doing, which is social media management. I still have marketing clients, and I play a very different role now that I'm a little later in my career and I have experience managing teams, and I really am more of like a strategy creative director role within marketing. So there's been an evolution, a healthy evolution. And that's another question that I was getting, like, are you still in social media? Are you still in marketing? Are you looking for clients? Yeah, like, it looks like you're on a different path. Tell me about it. And the answer is yes, and I am also birthing a completely new business that also merges creativity and somatics and ritual and embodiment. It's one big encompassing of the nervous system and our capacity to create and birth, and also like tune in and dream and listen to what your body actually needs from you, and from that place we can create. Going back to my original tangent around being a dry river when it came to creativity and not having ideas that were inspiring me, and just sitting in my own hardening, because when you're burnt out, you harden. You wear slick back buns, you don't get dressed for your days, you dread every meeting on your calendar, you don't want anything to do with anyone or anything that doesn't light you up and isn't like pouring back into your cup. I had to take many moments of stillness and reflection to know this and to learn this and to now not operate from that place. And there's a lot that I can weave in around feminine and masculine energetics, specifically when I was overworking and saying yes to every opportunity, mostly because I just wanted the experience. I very much like leaned into the toxic masculinity of delivering, achieving, doing, and just structure, discipline without allowing any flow or rest or surrender to happen or take place. And this became my way of operating, my shadow, and That is where anxiety was bred. That is where disconnection to my own self, my own body, my own sensuality and senses. That's where, that and more, of course, but that was a huge pillar of that was a huge fracture of my life, where I was like, oh, I have to look inward. Oh, it's not normal to wake up at 7 and go straight to your computer and only drink coffee until noon and be managing 8 clients at a time. That's so funny that I even did that at one point. Giggling to myself. Like, dang, girl, she was doing the most. And there's beauty in that too. Like, I love that I was ambitious, and I love that I wanted to have the capacity to hold it all and do it all and deliver for these folks and say yes to everything because of the potential opportunities for that to lead me to something greater and to fuel my career and give me experience and this and that. Like, there are so many beautiful things that came of it. And I had to peel back layer by layer of everything that was really unaligned and untrue for my own energetic essence. Now, I work very exclusively with 1 to 3 clients at a time, and right now there are 3 that are very much long-term clients, and I don't really open up my books for other marketing opportunities unless they're incredibly aligned, or maybe even just like on a project base, and I have spaciousness, because I want to protect my spaciousness and my time and my energy and the way that I'm showing up to calls, and can I give them my 110% when I'm with them in that portal of creation. And yeah, like, no longer operating from a place of fear by saying yes to everyone because I was afraid that other opportunities wouldn't come my way. Like, oh, I have to say yes to this because I don't know when the next one will come. And then that left me feeling tired, fucking tired, bro. Like, yeah. There have been a couple of cycles where this felt heavier, or at its heaviest, in the last 2-ish, 3-ish years. But the most recent one was back in July of last year, where I was like, I literally can't continue doing this. I cannot wake up and be on the computer. Like, this cannot be my life for these extended times. Not feeding myself because, I wanted to I needed to be in this meeting, and so I would choose the meeting over lunch hour or whatever. There are very subtle ways in which you start to signal to your body that you are not listening to her and you are not honoring her. And then she shuts down and feels disconnected from you. And then I was just completely disembodied, a disembodied skeleton. Disembodied skeleton. And I was anxious, and I would attend client events and shoots and these, work opportunities with that same anxiety and with that same disconnection. So it's like, this is serving no one. This is actually serving no one. Not my client, not myself, not the work at hand. And so I dropped into somatic work. I had already heard of somatics, and I had done traditional talk therapy. No hate to traditional talk therapy. That happens a lot. These trucks that pass by our street. But I was already operating at a place that was heavily centering my mind and what was happening up here So talk therapy to me was not going to serve my body and my soma and like the sensations that I was really like disconnected from. Like I needed to drop into the soma and into the body versus like talk it through. Like, yeah, that was just my own personal experience and like what I needed. So I dropped into somatics, learned more about feminine and masculine energetics, also learned a lot about my cycle and the luteal, the menstrual, the ovulation period, follicular, like all of these sexy phases, and how to really like merge them with my day-to-day, with my rhythm. Like, what is my rhythm? Learning my rhythm. What even is a rhythm? I'm not very much one to subscribe to like the ways that I'm, like not doing it perfectly. Like I don't want to say that, oh, in luteal you have to rest. Like I don't know. I just don't like to subscribe any like absolute ideas to that, but instead, like how can I show up to luteal and honor my body and what it needs, and know that every day it's going to be different. Some days it might be a nap. Other days I might like stay up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. writing poetry because I am in a dark portal of my own luteal void. So it's hard for me to like synthesize and subscribe to even like a lot of the content that I see on social media around like, this is what you need to be eating, this is what you should be doing, this is the way exercise that you like should stay away from. Like all of these shoulds, I don't like attaching that to any part of my phases or my cycle. So I am just honoring the rhythm day by day, hour by hour. And I took a couple of different containers and trainings around the menstrual cycle. And that became a way in which I honor my body's needs. And also it became a way of creating from that place. Again, I just hinted at the luteal void darkness that you feel like you're in, and using it as poetry, as a poetry portal. Or in follicular, like an ovulation, like the way that I dress is different and it's sensual and it's flirtier, and like operating from that way, and that's my creative expression that day. So those are some practices and honestly just portals I went down and into to become closer to myself and to become closer to my body's needs, and actually like listen and be in silence and not doing in order to have space to listen to what your body needs. And when my creative river is like overflowing and wanting to be visited and swam in, I make sure to listen to that too. And that also takes like a generative energy, and I say generative because I'm a generator, an energy to go to your river and to look at what wants to come through you. And it can be in small ways, subtle ways, which are so important, and that's how you get started, really, I believe. It can be in small, subtle ways, and then maybe there's like this big, juicy idea that is like begging for you to start looking at her and tended to. And I like to look at them as seeds. You're gathering your seeds and planting them and giving them sunlight and water and fresh soil, putting your hands in and really like being with this seed of creation. And little by little you start to notice which one wants to actually take life. One of my seeds was and is, and it's blooming now, is my path and body of work as a somatic practitioner and creative. And facilitator, really, that is now taking form. And I had to take a small little step. Like, first of all, even saying that desire out loud last year felt so scary. And like, who do I think I am was the energy of like claiming this and wanting it. Like, am I worthy of being a trusted vessel for this work? Very quickly, I just kept following that ping and like the curiosity and interest that was being seeded here. And no matter what my thoughts and quote and like unworthiness metrics were, that actually probably subsided pretty quickly because my curiosity took over, and I let that be the driver of like, clearly there's something here to be tended to, because my curiosity wants to stay up until midnight reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, and I'm ordering Womb Awakening. And again, another truck passing by. 1 second. And I'm journaling and I'm taking notes and I'm watching lectures and I'm looking for trainings and I'm looking for ways to expand my toolkit and knowledge to lead from the body and to learn more about the soma and embodiment. And yeah, like, who are these people in these spaces? Like Peter Levine, Judith Johnson. Judith Johnson is now who I study under in psychoneuroenergetics. And I started to ask my mentors that were doing the work in their own way, like, and how I could potentially like connect with their community and the trainings that they've done. Do you recommend this? Like, I was just letting that lead because I was so new to the space. I had just been a receiver of this life-changing work and modality. It really like unleashed this completely beautiful and powerful female embodiment of mine. So after I experienced the transformation myself and live it in my day-to-day, I was like, this is beyond me. This is energetics and ritual and inquiry and devotion and creativity. It's a creative act once again. So I let that lead. And when I let that lead, everything else melted away, like the doubts, the fears, all of this like chatter of like unworthiness. Honestly, that was for like a split second, because then like devotion and like a humbling, studious wave overtakes you and you're like in the work and you're like enamored and fascinated. And that's what like my seed turned, that's what it looked like to like be in the soil and like with the mentors and the teachers and the trainings and the retreats and all of these things that I'm still very much in, and I'm still very much a student. I'm a lifelong student of this work. So that is one example. And now I am launching my website and my offerings, and also using my background in creative strategy and marketing, and I'm infusing that with this body of work of, I don't know what to call it. Like, it's so hard to explain what I do because it is so mystic and multi-layered and multifaceted and deep. It's not like a one title fits all, which is what we've been conditioned to want or believe is what is best for this capitalistic like LinkedIn header world. To just like distill it to one thing is a disservice, because I know that there are so many different branches at hand and leaves, and I don't know, I'm just using all of the ecological terms now. Like leaves and branches, and so I have been rooting into the soil through these learnings, through my humble, studious like devotion. And now I'm at a point, and I have been at a point for several months now, of taking on my first clients and also back before that, I was like offering free sessions and hosting my free embodiment circles monthly, which I still am very much doing, and I'm so devoted to that, to show up and be in my transmission and create a space for others to come in and drop into their soma. Like, everyone should have access to that, and everyone should have a space for that, even if it's once a month at my circles, where we write poetry, and maybe you're pushed to your edge just a little bit to speak your poetry out loud and be in sisterhood in a different way. And like, that's why I'm doing it, because we all need to be pushed to our edge a little bit, and we also just need that safe container to give ourselves to. And also, when you're giving yourself to, you are also like receiving. You're in a state of receival of others' gifts and transmissions and presence and love, and all of that is very much what you can find at my embodiment circles that happen monthly. I've also started birthing and putting out into the world, and not yet officially launched, but they're on my website, my other sessions of a desire session, a 2-hour session on Zoom where we actually like dive in on like, who am I here to be? Who am I here to be? What is my transmission? What do I want to give to this world? But before I give, I must be. And like, it's kind of like mapping out and sitting with, in a somatic ritual, as always, to the wisdom of your body on like, where are you holding back? Where is there contraction? Is there places you can soften a bit more of to step into that power and step into that embodiment of yours? I'll probably do a separate episode on all of my offerings where I can go a little bit more in depth, but the last one that I'll speak on is the creative unfolding, and it's a 4-week one-on-one journey to awaken that creative voice and tingle within you. And maybe there is fear, maybe there is also a deep knowing that you are here to self-express and you just haven't identified your channel yet. Is it your dance class that you want to take at your local studio? Is it showing up more online? Are you like craving to build your own in-person circle or event or workshop, and you're just like sitting with the ideas, sitting with it, but like not sure how to actually bring it forth? This is a 4-week journey where we will tend to your creative river and alchemize what is there into like real embodied expression. And yeah, it's 4 weeks, one-on-one, 60 minutes with me, where we can just really tend to that seed. Like, the seed's there, and maybe there are many seeds and you're not sure which one to choose from, so you get overwhelmed, but you have seeds. Everyone has seeds, and it's like, okay, which one do we want to tend to over the next 4 weeks? And I'm going to leave you with like all of the confidence and the safety in your nervous system and in your body to go and pursue that and get clarity on what you actually need to do to bring that creative seed into full bloom. Whether it's a sunflower, a tree, like, again, the ecological metaphors I'm loving, and I will have more maybe better ones as we continue on this journey. But yeah, this is all about like reawakening the creative within you. I believe everyone is creative. Absolutely everyone. We don't have to look further than our own childhoods, when all we wanted to do was create and be and laugh and dance and sing, no matter the outcome and no matter the objective. There was no objective. We were just creating for the sake of our own self-expression. So, yeah. Wow. What a beautiful journey we just went on. I will leave you here. If you would like to learn more about these offerings that I spoke to you about, and or would just like to connect and talk more about creativity and the soma and our nervous system and the womb, like poetry, all these things, our creative life force. Like, let's go, let's connect. My website just launched a couple of weeks ago, ingrid-garcia.com, and you can find me on Instagram, which I'll link at the bottom of this little Substack note. And this episode, I've now figured out how to also get it live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, plus Substack. And of course, I'm going to do clips on socials and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for the next.